I'm not headed. Like, I just want to get it fixed. I don't.
Just a number. It makes it look like I did something right.
I don't know the fuck they think they playing with. I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. I don't play no motherfucking games. Okay, let's go. Watch out, guys. Watch out.
What happens when boxing's past and present collide, not under the bright lights of Las Vegas, but in the middle of Dubai International Airport? The answer? Chaos. Terence "Bud" Crawford and Floyd "Money" Mayweather, two names tied to greatness in their own eras, came face to face in the most unexpected of places. And instead of handshakes or respect, Crawford landed a punch. Yes, Bud swung on Floyd Mayweather at Dubai Airport, and the footage has already turned the boxing world upside down. But this wasn't just a random scuffle. This moment ties directly into Floyd's rumored professional comeback, his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson, and the ongoing debate of who really is the greatest of all time, Crawford or Mayweather.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, no.
So let's unpack everything. How the fight broke out, why Floyd may have provoked it, how Canelo's name keeps finding its way into this story, and why this might set the stage for the biggest fight in modern boxing history.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring them. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
Witnesses say the tension was instant. Floyd Mayweather was moving through the VIP section of Dubai Airport, surrounded by his usual entourage. Terence Crawford, who's been everywhere since shocking the world by beating Canelo Alvarez, just happened to be there too. At first, it was just stares, then words. Floyd cracked one of his trademark smirks and reportedly dismissed Crawford's Canelo win as overrated. Bud, never one to hold back, snapped back. Entourages surrounded both men, security rushed in, but the shouting didn't stop. And then it happened. Bud let his hands do the talking and cracked Floyd. Phones were out, fans were screaming, and before long, clips of Crawford's punch were already trending worldwide. The airport turned into a circus, with both entourages clashing, shouting matches exploding, and security dragging both sides away before things got completely out of hand.
Let it go.
It was more than a fight. It was symbolic. Because this wasn't just about two guys bumping into each other. This was about legacy, ego, and the crown of boxing greatness.
I was excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well. And the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, but I've seen Hagler Hearns. I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all of those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it, right? The best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
Hold up. Limitless. Niggas to me cap pinning it. I fought the head to witness it.
So why did Bud swing? Simple, respect or the lack of it. For years, Floyd Mayweather has acted like no fighter after him deserves comparison. Every time fans asked if Crawford could beat him, Floyd laughed it off. He called himself the best ever and brushed Bud aside.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
But then Bud shocked the world by doing something no one thought possible, beating Canelo Alvarez. That fight wasn't just an upset, it was a rewriting of history. Suddenly, the pound-for-pound debate wasn't about who's the best today. It became, is Terence Crawford better than Floyd Mayweather ever was?
Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
And the kicker? Canelo himself, who fought both Floyd and Crawford, said Crawford is better. That stung Floyd. Because for years, Floyd's proudest achievement was dismantling Canelo and labeling him easy work. Now the same Canelo is out here praising Bud? For Floyd, that was too much.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
So when the two finally crossed paths, it wasn't just about words. It was about decades of ego clashing head on.
I feel like we done seen Crawford on his, have his best performance that he has ever had, versus Canelo. So it's like, whenever you try to compare Floyd's performance versus Crawford's performance, me personally, I believe that Crawford did a lot more. But if they both were to fight each other, if you would have put Floyd in his prime versus Crawford in his prime, who would y'all pick? For me personally, it would be so hard because I feel like they fight very similar but very different.
Here's where it gets even deeper. Days before the airport incident, Floyd Mayweather made waves in an interview by hinting that he was considering a professional comeback. No more exhibitions, no more easy checks. He wants to step back into the pro ranks. And who's the one name he's been eyeing? Terence Crawford. It makes sense. Crawford is the face of this era. Floyd was the face of the last era. The GOAT of yesterday versus the GOAT of today. If Floyd wants to prove his throne is untouchable, there's no bigger fight.
So if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd? Who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm just asking.
man.
Because Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody. I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
And let's be real, Floyd isn't dumb. He knows this fight is historic. For Bud, it's risky. If he beats Floyd, critics will just say Floyd was old. But if he loses, his whole legacy takes a hit because it'll be remembered as Crawford couldn't even beat a 4-7-year-old Floyd Mayweather. For Floyd, it's all upside. If he loses, people shrug and say, well, he was way past his prime. But if he somehow beats Bud, that's one of the greatest statements in boxing history.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
But before Floyd can even dream of a Crawford fight, he's got another mountain to climb: Mike Tyson. That's right. Floyd's next scheduled fight is an exhibition against Iron Mike Tyson.
A fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to fight Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an exciting event.
Now, on paper, this is all entertainment. Tyson is well into his 50 seconds, and Floyd is still active and sharp. Logic says Floyd should cruise.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the f is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
But one Tyson punch changes everything. If Floyd gets caught and knocked out, even in an exhibition, kiss the Crawford fight goodbye. Because Bud isn't going to fight a guy who just lost to a nearly 60-year-old Tyson. Fans won't demand it, promoters won't push it, and Floyd's aura will be shattered.
It was recently said that you're going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one. He came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already, and he was talking really bad and nasty to me. And so I was like, God, damn! I thought we were friendly, talking crazy. He's all right.
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that, like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What are you talking about? Start talking crazy. Like, kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I thought it was the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Hey, he made a good money choice, though.
That's why this Tyson fight is actually way more dangerous than it looks. It's not about Floyd getting hurt. It's about his entire comeback plan going up in smoke. And here's another twist. Crawford doesn't even need this fight. After beating Canelo, Bud's legacy is already sealed. Fans and analysts alike are calling him one of the all-time greats. His resume is complete. He dared to be great, moved up in weight, and dethroned the biggest name in boxing.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
He could retire today, hang up the gloves, and still be remembered as the man who shocked the world and conquered every challenge.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT, greatest of all time, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course he is.
Fighting Floyd is more about money than legacy, because even if Crawford wins, critics will always say it wasn't prime Floyd. The debate of prime versus prime will never go away. That's why some insiders are urging Bud to ignore Floyd's call-out altogether. He has nothing left to prove.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab. He used his distance. He had poise in the ring. He wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept his different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
But let's not sugarcoat it. If this fight happens, it's dangerous for Crawford. Not physically, but legacy-wise.
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that fight.
Yes, sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terence.
always figures it out.
Yeah,
he's
a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in
But
that
the
sense
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you
can't
gotta have
say
an
that
OG
about
somewhere.
anybody else. Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer it, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's
yeah.
an OG you can't out-figure out
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
And I just
yeah.
believe Floyd is that
is
OG
the one.
you can't out-figure out.
Beating Floyd Mayweather at nearly 50 won't silence critics. Losing, however, could be devastating. Bud would go from being the king of boxing to the guy who got humbled by a retired legend. For Floyd, there's no downside. His reputation is bulletproof. For Bud, everything's on the line because all eyes are on him. And that's why this airport punch was more than just a heated moment.
You could take a guy like Canelo. This guy could do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
It was the first domino in a bigger game of chess. So here's the story. At Dubai Airport, Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather finally collided. Bud threw a punch, the internet exploded, and suddenly, the conversation about who's really the greatest boxer of all time feels more alive than ever.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, he ain't saying, let me meet Canelo at a catchweight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
But this isn't just about one punch. This is about Floyd hinting at a pro comeback, about his risky Tyson fight, about Crawford's place in history after beating Canelo, about 2 eras of boxing finally crossing paths.
Have you thought about going for 51-0, beat Mayweather's record with 50-0? Is that something that you thought about?
I already said I wasn't never gonna beat Mayweather record. That's not something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
To be honest, I was gonna retire if I didn't get this Errol Spence fight.
So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.